Hello, everyone. I am your host Shashi with you all on Global Women Dialogue Talk Show to create more voice for women and by women. As you are seeing with me are today's new speaker, new guest, who is connecting with us from Bangalore, India. She is experienced passionist educationist and especially in special education. How she put her efforts into her work, into her changing the lives. Let's hear from our today's speaker, Nisha Chakravarti. She is a founder and director of Kriya Learning Center, which are that she's having chain of schools and same with the same name, Kriya Early Learning Centers. Along with that, she is having her own teachers training academy, and where she is helping parents by providing counseling as well as training along with that. She is the franchisee owner of Academy Center as well. So as you are hearing from me, she is having a lot of experience from education, and as well as she's helping those very young age and tender age children how they can build up themselves without finding themselves discriminated or uh, putting themselves in special category. So let's welcome our today's speaker, Nisha from Bangalore. Welcome, Nisha, on this platform.
Thank you, Dr. Shashi. Thank you for providing me this platform. I'm glad that I'm here and I'm going to speak some of the youngsters and the old people, like those who've been experienced all these things, my seniors and the juniors, those who would love to dream about becoming an entrepreneur and run their own business at the same time. Yes, my journey begins with a lot of ups and downs. Yes, still after encountering all those things, I've been reaching to a point where I could speak to my upcoming generation people and just, motivate them. I come from a very small town called Jamshedpur, that's Tata Steel, and my dad used to work in Tata Steel at the time. And bonding between me and my dad was very, very strong. So he would carry me wherever he used to go and whatever he used to do, and he used to guide me and advise me. Earning money is very important, yes, but that's not the only important thing in life. You need to also help people need. That's where the basic, nature of sharing and caring comes from. So I was very, very impressed when I'm seeing, I used to see my dad, picking up people from the road if they are crying and they're yelling and, they are ailing with the diseases. He used to pick them up and go to the hospital and, get the best care, what he could do it and bring them back to the places. So the social work, which began in my life, it was there when my dad was there with me. He's not there anymore, but he has really motivated me. After completing my education from Jamshedpur, from Sikrat Convent School, I came back to Bangalore after my marriage. And then, what happens in life of a lady, when you have become a mother, you have the priority becomes your kids. And that's when I started, taking my kids as a project and understand their development, growth, and a lot of other things. So I had to quit my corporate job. I was working with Wipro at that time. So I had to quit, and that's a lovely quit. After that, my journey has really transformed to what I really, meant for, and I was born for. I found a meaning to my life. And looking at them growing up and the way they used to, the toddlers, the way used to communicate, and I have learned a lot of things from them as well as what they have learned from me. So I have taken this as project, and the kids have grown a little big, and I thought of opening one school and giving the same kind of techniques where the mothers are frustrated to bring the children, up, and young mothers, they wouldn't know how to bring the children up and how to put them across while teaching, and how to share a lot of other things. So I started, thinking and jotting down in my notebook so that I can open up one of my own organization. And then, yes, a day came and I opened up Kriya Early Learning Center with a lot of passion and a lot of aims. And yes, I did very well. And I was so happy touching so many little lives. And I'm being a special educator. I have really taken care of the kids. They've been really differently abled, They are not like a normal kids, where parents come up with a lot of other kind of questions, the children would not be able to understand what a normal child would understand like. And they would come to me with teary eyes and talk to me, the child is like this, and the milestones have been skipped. Things, I've been doing, and I've been really, really happy what I'm doing. And the kids, those who have come to me, especially abled. Sorry. So all these comprising together, I thought of opening one teachers training academy where the young mothers, would-be mothers, and the parents would come along and talk to me all the question before even conceiving and after they have conceived, how to raise the children, how to identify, the different things in children. And the early you find out the, different things in children, you can treat them in much faster, like, so the early diagnosis will help you to understand your child much better. So that teacher training academy was launched with great pomp, and most of the parents and teachers have started benefiting. It's all free, connections. What I do with the parents, those who come with, and the questionnaires have been put in the boxes, and I started answering them. So all these things were very rosy until the pandemic hit our country, and across the world we are in a very bad shape. Now, the kids were stopped coming to the physical classes, of course, yes, and they were being parked at home for longer time. And it irritated children to the, into 4 times, and they started showing tantrums. They are irritable. They are not getting things, they're not getting the platform yet. They are continuously in YouTubes where the online one-way interaction was happening. But I didn't know how the kids would be able to take the online classes. The nursery kids, they're very too small. The age group, what I was handling is 2 to 7 years age old. They wouldn't know how to interact, which window to look at if you have there. But slowly interacting with them, I came into this platform, and the kids are really enjoying it. They look forward for us. And it's, again, the life is in track, and the children are actually getting benefited. And the parents are also understanding. I keep training to the mothers also. If you want to do this, please take this technique and enjoy with them. We can, when we can, you're not going out anywhere. As a family, sit down and work together and take care of your children. The way you are frustrated, you can actually explain yourself, but the child doesn't know how to explain themselves. There's another problem of child development. You have to go through that. After this, all these things I have seen, my neighborhood villages, I've been there. I was actually working for the villages during the pandemic, before pandemic also. I had adopted 2-3 villages in Bangalore, and I started giving them free education and a lot of other platforms. The kids, the children, those who have completed their 10th, after that, they don't have kind of, financial support to pursue their studies and education. So we started, under Kriya Educational and Welfare Trust. We had started providing them the platform. I started giving them the teachers training on behalf of Kriya Educational Trust. And then they started, learning the teaching part and how to prepare the lesson plans and all. And then we started providing them the jobs in different big schools as an assistant teachers according to their capabilities. And we had also gone ahead with providing 250 families, as we had adopted the people of the villages, providing groceries, clothes, and different other things, and also providing the camps for vaccinations and providing the awareness of vaccination, which is very, very important. Most of the people in our country, as we know, they are not aware of the benefits, rather than, listening to the rumors and telling, no, if you're vaccinated, you wouldn't be surviving. There are a lot of other things, and also creating the camps and bringing in the doctors and asking them to talk to them and convince them it is very important to get vaccinated if you want to really survive during the pandemics. Yes, all these things we had been doing, and we continue to do this. So this is my journey. And youngsters, once you dream, if I can do, you all can do it, right? your growth and what is your happiness. Yes, your growth, your happiness, your job, your salary package is very, very important, but you need to look after your fellow people also. If you think you can provide a rupees, chocolate to someone who can be smiling at you after taking the chocolate and helps you out, sorry. Yeah.
So that's wonderful, Nisha, the way you shared your journey, the way you was talking about how the very early age you learned the lesson about one has to be professional, but same time have to have the feeling to give back to our community and society. And you took to the in your career to next stage by creating such kind of platform, such kind of schools where uh, giving very early age and this tender age kids those learning and right tools that those can be helpful for their development, for their growth, as well as helping parents and children. So Nisha, when we are talking about this, you mentioned during the COVID pandemic, things we are all are facing some sort of way, some kind of distress, some kind of new kind of challenges. So as you mentioned, children also definitely they are tender, they don't know how to express except showing their tantrums maybe, or showing their some sort of a unusual behavior. When we are talking about it, what mechanism you developed, or maybe if you would like to share what kind of things you developed for them, there they can help themselves, as well as maybe parents can help them as well.
Right. So there are most of the parents will come back. All young parents, the first time born, and they are also parked at home for a long time. The ladies, the men would definitely work. They are locking themselves in a room and they're taking calls, and there's ladies out with a child who is bubbling with energy. You cannot control, you cannot dissipate the energy until you look for some activity which the child likes it. Otherwise, they can make your life hell at times. You feel a lot of problems, and the mothers would come. He doesn't sleep, he doesn't listen to me, and he's just pulled out my mobile and threw it from the 4th floor, and the mobile is into many pieces. Nisha ma'am, what to do? So, there's only thing is that I just tell, mothers to just calm down, because it is going to, first of all, if you don't calm down, by yourself, you'll not be able to find out a solution. The moment he's thrown the mobile down and you whack him, he's even more interested because he's happy doing that. Kids has the, kind of capability to see the things falling down. They always want to see when the things are fallen down and broken into pieces, and the sound, you must have seen the younger kids will bang things and they love to hear the sound, whereas we are not interested to listen to that sound at that very moment. So mothers would come and have whacked the child, and the child is not listening. The more you hit the child, the more the child would, get adamant. So I keep telling moms, I know this is a very wrong act he's performing, but he didn't know how to express his feelings like. So he thought, let me see, if the mom is always in the mobile, the child has nothing to do at times. And they pull it off so that mother can attend him better. I'm not accusing the mothers. Those who are on mobile might be something serious what they're doing. But at the same time, as a mother, I'm not telling only mother. It is the responsibility of the father as well. But the father is somewhere working in a closed room. He wouldn't be able to come out at that time to just specify the child, because he's throwing the tantrums around. So I would always tell mothers, before even you want to get engaged in any other work, please engage the child. As a mother, you would always know his likes and dislikes, right? So we have the special ability, as being a mother. Mothers are teachers. Mothers have several roles to play in a house, in a family, outside, in a society. We have several roles to play, and we are doing it successfully. That is why school is majorly dominated by female employees, because we understand the characteristics. It's like born qualities. We have inborn qualities, So I always suggest them, engage your child first, sit with the child before even you want to get into any serious work. See to it, what is his likings? Maybe the child likes painting, coloring. Let it be if he's making himself messy, but at the same time, he's learning also. So I always tell them, engage your child before you are getting engaged. You know, at very moment, sometimes parents, they wouldn't understand immediately, and they get into the work and the child is just waiting and gaping and moving around aloof because they don't know what to do. If they know how to use their time, they wouldn't be called as children. They will become like an adult. So as an adult, we need to really, during pandemic, everyone is parked at home, everyone is equally frustrated, they cannot breathe fresh air outside. The children, those who used to go down in the parks and apartments, in Bangalore, across the world, we do have mostly, apartment culture where they go and meet the children. My son himself, he plays a basketball, and he would, after 5 o'clock, he would like to go down. And when it has been restricted, he doesn't know what to do. And like a mosquito, he'll be moving around in this room to that room to this room. And you feel so bad because you are not interacting with him and he didn't know what to do. Every time you can't tell them to take out the academic books and keep studies. Keep on going, learning the question answer. No, they're not interested because the mind is not fresh. Play is very important at very young age. Play is such an important thing in any person's life, not only the child who is 3 years age old, as well as people like us going out, socializing and exchanging the thoughts, breathing fresh air and thinking about new ideas are very important. But our brain have the compartments. Being an adult, we have actually segmented the things and thoughts, what we have to do, what we don't have to do. But the child of 3 years age old, or maybe who's in class 1, they wouldn't know how to, segment their thoughts and what to do after what.
Yeah, that's perfectly what you are mentioning. We all can associate, and I think our listeners and viewers can understand and can associate in their life if they are parents or having any child in their life at any stage. So my point is here, when we are talking about it, you are a specialist in special education, and being such a young kids and having their own special need, whereas they are in lockdown, they can't move around, they can't do activity. It's additional work for parents, not only mother, but maybe as well as father, or maybe whoever is guardian for them. So what kind of activity, what kind of things, are you having some sort of special sort of techniques you are providing them, that these can be, or maybe some set of instruction or academic pattern where they can help through activity or something during this lockdown?
Yes, of course. I send them small clips of exercises and pleasant music, So special need children would love to, they have their different tantrums. So somebody has to read them properly. So for reading the child at this point of time, the mother or a father, the caretaker who's taking care of the particular child, has to be trained properly, what has to be done, what doesn't have to be done. Now, since they're not exposed to the, outer side environment, they do have vitamin deficiencies. When you have vitamin deficiency, the child becomes more irritated because the development is not happening with the, pace it has to happen. So what happens is all these things are, creating a shield around a child, and, it's stopping the growth of a child. Now, what happens is the children, the mothers, especially to the mothers, I would say, if you want to go and take care of a special need or a differently abled child, you need to be very clean, calm. Before even I give the activities to the children, I have to give it to the mothers, because they are already in a, very, very, sad, mood, thinking about my child is not up to the child of my neighborhood. The age is same, but he's not behaving the way the neighborhood child is behaving. The child, the parent is already been sad, damaged, and they are gone into a lot of negative thoughts. How I'm going to bring up my child? How am I going to train him? How am I going to, facilitate him to fight with the world when he's grown big? How is he going to sail through in his life? How is he going to get his job if he cannot? So the special need categories are different categories, you know. So there are a lot of, you know, diagnosis which is made by the doctors. Before they come to me, I ask them to send me the report. If they're autistic, they're mild autistic, or they have cerebral palsy. So there are different diagnoses. So, and I take the, you know, prescriptions, I read the, you know, history, the case history, and accordingly, I create, you know, kind of, you know, worksheets, or maybe the work pattern, or maybe the technique of handling them. So case history in this, you know, this stage is very, very important. When the child is diagnosed with some special need, you know, diagnosis, case history is very important. So after getting this case history and what the child is, and suppose the child has got speech disability, the child might already be going to the speech therapist. So I would need to know how the speech therapy is helping the child and what are the activities he's already doing. I don't want to multiply and overburden the child with the same kind of, you know, pattern again and again. Right.
So here I would like to ask you, when we are talking about Nisha, you are talking about the child, you know, case report or the assessment report from the doctor which you are receiving.
Right.
But in many cases, it has been noticed, or even many times parents are not able to find that whether their child has having some problem or maybe some issues or not. But because when the kids start learning, and as an early learning center you are running, so
Right.
might be there is an example or some cases where you found like, okay, there is assessment is required, there is some test is required, because we are observing such patterns, such behavior, or such you know, learning disability. So is this something you have experienced?
Yes. Absolutely, several times, you know, I have experienced the couple walks in with a child and they say, my child is, you know, we want to put the child in, and, you know, they become very assertive. The acceptability is not there when the parent would definitely know my child is actually not behaving as per the age growth. You know, people know it, but they don't want to accept it. So they just walk in and they tell, I want to put my child in, you know, so and so, you know, class, and you know, so you can just talk to my child. So what happens, the first thing what you have to notice is the child who is special need or maybe differently abled, he will not keep the eye contact with you, first of all. So this is the first diagnosis what you see. Being in this profession for so long, it is very difficult. It is very easy for me to diagnose a child, but how to put it across is another problem, you know. So I have actually counseled many parents. It was very difficult for me, Dr. Sashi, to tell them to take the child to a doctor. We do have doctors associated with Kriya Early Learning Center who takes care of, you know, special need children. So after doing the first, you know, kind of preliminary testing from my end, after talking to them, giving them a pencil to hold, you know, first it is very difficult to, you know, connect and tell the parent that, yes, your child is going through a problem. The early you go to the doctor, the faster he will recover. It is very difficult. Sometimes they really get, you know, some parents, they would accept it and they say, yes. I keep asking few things to them, as you know, the child is you know, responding to you when you call the child. So 2-3 things are there: keeping eye contact and responding to your call and understanding. These 3 things you can see very clearly. If a normal child, you call out the name, the child may be busy in playing, but they will turn out and they say yes. Or maybe they turn their head and tell you, yes, this is my name. He can associate with the name. But these kind of children, they wouldn't do that. And sometimes I have seen the parents, they know the child has been diagnosed, they wouldn't come and share with you. Just because they feel, I told the first thing, acceptability. They don't accept the things, you know, and most of the parents I have seen, they have come and they tell the same thing. No, we never find anything and my child is just normal. But whereas you can see, you have to. So I keep counseling, no, your child, I just upfront, I don't tell things, but I do tell them, I feel your child needs a little more attention. And the age, suppose the child is, you know, at the age of 4, but he doesn't behave like, the child who's supposed to be behaving at the age of 4. A 4 years age old child would behave differently. But these children, when they come to you, you can distinctly see that they are not responding to you. They will not connect with you. They will be hyperactive. Their hands, movements and all that will be abnormal movements of hand. And that will be in series of actions. Sometimes the children will come to you very calm. They would not talk to you. They would not respond to you. They will, if you hold them, they will be just, pull out their hands away. So there are a lot of things, Dr. Shashi, when they come to you, you can distinctly, clearly you can see.
When we are talking about these different symptoms, different behavior, different patterns of behavior, here you mentioned that sometimes parents are knowing, but they ignore or they try not to share.
Yes, they go into denial.
Are you feeling there is still in society there is a stigma about it, like being acceptable, having special need children, and it can affect their own life or as well as in social life of their child? Do you feel it is still related to stigma? Is there any lacking of education or something is there?
Yes, absolutely. Still persisting. It's a trivial problem. People do not accept their own child, if you diagnose them, So I have seen parents discriminating between two children of their own. One child is not really, equipped with the, normal abilities, and the other child was differently abled. So you can see the distinct, problem, the way some of the parents, I would say, they wouldn't look after the child much, and they keep one, a person or maybe caretaker, and they do not monitor what the caretaker is doing to the child, whether the caretaker is harming him more or intervening his growth and development. So parents start focusing on the child who is normal. So it begins from home. It's very sad, Dr. Shashi, when you see that.
Yeah.
It's sad that the social stigma is still very much prevalent. And I keep counseling the parents.
Mm-hmm. And when we are talking all about these issues, you are expertise, you are working in this field, you are seeing in day-to-day life those, young kids, and they are coming to your school and all. What way you would like to give any suggestion or advice who are listening and watching us, and how we can, spread the awareness?
Absolutely. I will give an example. What I do in my Kriya Early Learning Center is I actually take in these special needs children, I take them in and I try to put them in a buddy program where the normal children, I put them along with the normal children. Okay. So sometimes it has been told children learn seeing the other children. So what I try to do here is I put them in the group of normal children, and I train the normal children, to take care of that particular child who's been differently able. The child is not talking. Believe me, Dr. Shashi, I have seen a lot of improvement in, the children, those who are not speaking, they have, speech delay. So when I had put them in a group of children, the normal kids, under the buddy program. So they all were been trained and told that, your friend has come here and this friend of yours need kind of attention, your help. And trust me, the children have done fabulous work, and they started engaging him along with them whenever they have circle time, and they were playing, together, the team play, everything they were pulling in, and the child started learning and babbling and speaking. Few words they have picked up. And also the behavior issues, sometimes if they have behavior issues, put them in buddy program, seeing the other children, they learn a lot. So I give such kind of environment in Kriya Early Learning Center. That's why I have started getting a lot of queries for special needs, because I've been treating and a kind of improvement, not 100%. I would not like to own that, a tag that I have completely done a change, but parents were happy seeing the changes. And I was also happy seeing some kind of improvement on those kind of children. And I would say, Dr. Shashi, the child is looking to be heard. They wanted to be heard. Because sometimes as an adult, we have very minimal interaction with the children. How much do we give them time? You want to eat, you eat, sleep, do something, very minimal interaction. But as a teacher, we have to keep on interacting with them. The more you interact, the more they will open up to you. I always tell the parents same thing. Take some time. You all are busy, I understand. Associate, coordinate with him. And, when you're in the kitchen also, you can put them at task, telling that these are brinjals, these are onions, and all those things. A lot of things where you can enjoy, working with them, put them for tasks, rather than, going here and there. The child sits all alone, knowing nothing. And you put on a TV and the child would have one-way interaction where the other person is not there. The learning happens in one way. So I always want to suggest the parents the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's very important, that put them, keep them yourself also in the, whether you are active or doing any activity, put them in activity mode, I think. And so that they can learn and have interaction. That's the way they are desiring and they're looking for.
I have one more thing to tell. Mothers would tell, कैसे रखे बच्चों को engage? मैं तो kitchen में काम कर रही हूँ. So I always tell, when you try to make dough, आटा बनाते हो, give him little bit. Put one apron or maybe extra t-shirt and give him. That is again fine motor skill development. Fingers, it will get strength when you have a pencil grip for writing. So fine motor skill development will happen only when you hold the knife and you're cutting, you're making dough, and you're touching sensory activities. When you touch cold water, hot water, and segregate. You want to teach numbers to them. Give them the vegetables and ask them to segregate, lady finger and onions. All these things, we have everything, Dr. Shashi, at home to keep the children engaged, but we should know what has to be done.
Right.
So that's very important. So
yeah, that's very important. As you said, keep them engaged and in a productive way to keep their on activity mode, on productivity mode. So Nisha, just would like to ask quickly, when we are talking all about children and about parenting, about how we can bring their best, how we can help to get their best in their life for them. What way you find as a leader, you are leading institution, you are running institution, how you define your leadership?
Defining leadership is a very big subject and topic, yes. But I would only try to tell that if you dream something, you want to do something, the leadership qualities will definitely come across and come along, So a leadership qualities are self-motivated activities, which drives you from within. And when you talk about leadership or a leader is self-motivator and a dreamer. A dream, when the person who dreams and wants to make that dream come true, that's a leader. And a leader is also defined as leaders would not create followers. Leaders would create another leader. So only one tagline for leadership qualities, if a person, everyone has the leadership qualities actually amongst them, but only they have to aim themselves, what they want to do, what they want to lead. The subject, the topic is very important, and what is all about your dreaming, what you want to bring in change in your society. It's all about, you have to segment your ways and again, aim for, any dream what you want to. So that's very important.
That's perfect. And when last but not least, when we are on the platform of Women Dialogue, how you find a platform like this is helpful or is important?
This kind of platforms are really important, Dr. Shashi, and what you're doing is a fabulous work. And you are letting us speak and motivate the other children and other juniors and the ladies, those who would like to dream being a housewife. They think, oh, I will not be able to do anything. But you are giving such a nice platform, Dr. Shashi, and you're recording and you're throwing it open in social media where they can see this and learn from us and try to motivate them. Of course, I would say Women Dialogue is really doing a great job by, providing us, people like us, those who've been dreaming and became leader and pursuing our dreams and doing it successfully. You are connecting us and also giving it to the people, those who have started dreaming right now. It's like they're germinating with the dream and they would want to do, they don't have way to see. But you have created this platform where you are reaching our voices to them, and they will hear us and they will definitely get motivated. If they can, I can too. This is what should be the mantra. And thank you so much, Dr. Shashi. Thank you so much for doing this job.
Thanks a lot, Nisha, for sharing your thoughts and feelings for Women Dialogues, as well as all the very best, the work you are doing and the way you are creating our future generation in a right way, in a right direction. And thanks to all our viewers and our audience who are listening and watching us, as we have discussed here about children, about education, about parenting, about right way, right tools, how we can bring up in the right time to give them best for their development and growth. And if you have more queries, more questions regarding the same subject, same topic, we are going to put the details about Nisha and Kriya Early Learning Center in the description as well. So get connected with Nisha, find out more queries and questions if you have. And if you have any question and query for us, put it in comment, and do share, like, and subscribe. The purpose is to inspire and motivate and grow together and develop together. With this hope, I will see you with the next episode. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.